What's going on, everyone? It is your shaman, your sister in spirit, and your friend Alicia Dunleavy here. And I am here to say a big hello. So welcome everybody to my page, to my podcast, wherever you are listening in. Thank you so much for being here. I have had a beautiful influx of followers lately, and I really wanted to come on, introduce myself, let you guys know what my mission is, what I'm doing here, and yeah, just take a minute to have a little getting to know you and why. Why me? You know, a question that I have found myself asking many, many times. And when I have finally discovered the answer, I can honestly say that it feels so good. And so, who am I? So I am a 31-year-old based out of the Northern Panhandle of West Virginia. And I have studied massage therapy, I've studied yoga, I've studied shamanism. I am in school to get my bachelor's in metaphysical ministries. I went to school originally for teaching, and I think at the very core of me, that's absolutely who I am. At the end of the day, when you work with me, when you come near me, you're going to get the vibe of a teacher. And I really love that. I love that modality. Um, my mission here is to really bridge the gap between mental, emotional health and spirituality. And that has a lot to do with my own personal story. So, for those of you who have heard this, you may be hearing this differently for the first time. Hearing this differently, and maybe for the first time is what I mean to say. And basically, my story has a lot to do with how experiencing the death of my mother at a very young age left me very susceptible to some mental health issues that went undiagnosed for a very long time because I was really good at masking and I was really good at pretending and I was really good at mimicking and fitting into my surroundings. And so it made it very difficult for people to pinpoint what was wrong and how to fix it. Through that, anxiety, depression, PTSD symptoms really were more of a hidden part of myself. And as I continued to develop with these mental health and emotional health imbalances, it eventually turned into a form of spiritual attack. Now, spiritual attack can come in a lot of different levels. I think at first it really started as just kind of feeling off, just not feeling like myself, feeling kind of heavy. I think that's a great word for it. Feeling kind of clouded, feeling foggy, not having any clarity, feeling confused, having kind of these emotional ups and downs that weren't familiar to me, that felt uncontrollable, and that also kind of sparked some levels of shame. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm having these emotions and I'm talking to a therapist and I've been on medication and yet nothing is working. Um, Nothing is making me feel fulfilled or clear or light or happy. And realizing that deep within me, there was a voice that kept telling me that it was something different. Like it was something that was unseen. It was something that nobody around me quite understood. And before I knew it, I was having severe bouts of psychosis and was having suicidal thoughts and ideations, and they were so present in my life. And whenever I would have moments where I would come back into my body, it was like there was a deep whisper inside of me that kept telling me to hold on. And I really came to this point where I had a choice where I could either find that voice and listen to it and go into a state of meditation, go into a state of silence and stillness and like pinpoint where that voice was and listen to it intentionally, more often or not, and run the risk of losing the connection to that voice that was telling me to hold on. And that voice that was telling me to hold on, in my words, right? There are many ways to describe it, but in my words, in my experience, is this higher self, this connection to God, this connection to all that is, the connection to love, the connection to truth. And so I had to go on this entire journey to what eventually ended up being a self exorcism. And I had to really begin to activate my self will and activate my self love and activate a lot of things within me in order to keep up the momentum of wanting to live, of finding purpose in life, of feeling joy and satisfaction and content and um, happiness, and love. And I've been on this journey for a few years now, and I'm so happy to like honestly sit in front of everybody and be like, I don't have that anymore. Like that's not a struggle of mine anymore. And when I think back to those times of my life where I was really lost and really blind and really confused and really sad, um, it almost feels like a past life. It feels like a version of myself that doesn't completely exist, but like there are hints, lingering hints of certain behaviors, right? But I approach those with non-judgment and I approach those with love. And really that is how I show up as a practitioner. And these are the people that I want to stand for and support, because I really do believe in some of the medical systems that are in place. I think that they are very needed. I think that they work for people. I am here to support the people that does not work for, which was me. I did everything by the book. I did everything by the book. And yet I still was having some very serious mental health, emotional health issues. It was a crisis and nobody knew what to do. I went to psychologists and psychiatrists and therapists, and they were all like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, we can try this and we can try this. And, we tried things and it would work for a little bit, but then something would shift. And this to me is how these entities work. Like we give these practices and they adapt to the conditions. They are extremely adaptable, especially whenever they want to have control over a body. And I think a lot of people think like, why would they want control over a human body? Because humans are the most precious things. They're one of the most precious creations by the creator. Our ability to feel and to smell and to taste and to love and to have sex and to have babies and to like, there's so much involved. There's so much deliciousness involved in the human experience that once we lose these bodies, we do not get access to anymore. That is the sacredness of being human. And many of us bluntly take it for granted because we also not only get to experience all of the pleasures, but because we are humans, we also experience the equal and opposite reaction of that, the duality of it. And until we step into our spirituality to realize that both ends are the same, it's two sides of the same coin. It is one. There is oneness inside of these polarizing experiences. The human experience can feel very intense. So what I am here to encourage everybody, and what my role here as a practitioner is, that I really want people to I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by the dog barking upstairs. My role and my mission here is to really be a stand for those that especially know like something is off. and I'm trying everything, but something doesn't feel right. I want to be a safe space for that. I am a safe space for that. And we don't do this by rituals, any kind of ritual or any kind of magic. That's not what it is. My modality is really based off of the power of touch, right? Massage therapy really taught me the potency, the power of laying hands, right? And so does the ministry, talking about the laying of hands. We use we use talking and listening and acceptance, um, to help move and create connection. I create a space of non-judgment. So that way, if people are experiencing something as genuine as I just feel off, and I don't know what it is, but I've tried everything and nothing's working. If it's something like that, or even if it's something as extreme as I feel like there's a spirit, I'm under spiritual attack. I feel like there is a spirit lurking around me, affecting me. I'm not able to do my job. I feel like I'm checking out. I feel like I'm having psychosis, and I can hear them in my head telling me to do things. I'm also a stand for that as well, for those people as well, because I believe that through an integrative practice, right, through with a therapist, with a shaman, with a doctor, with nutrition, with exercise, with a holistic approach, that healing truly, truly, truly can happen. And I do feel that a role like mine is missing inside of a holistic practice. And, we have mind and body, but we're missing the spirit. We're missing the spiritual part of these practices, which create a depth. And I am really excited because I do notice a movement happening where people, doctors, nurses, practitioners, therapists, they are recognizing, like, something's missing here. Something's missing here. And I think that we need to pull in somebody a little alternative, somebody that does something a little bit different. And I love that. And I encourage for any doctor, nurse, or, medical practitioner that is here listening, pay attention to the signs. And as you listen and as you sit with me, I will be giving you signs. What does it look like when somebody's under spiritual attack? Especially if they have gone through the motions of X, Y, and Z, and yet there's still little to no progress. Is that a sign? I believe yes. I have witnessed yes. And who are safe practitioners that you can add into your practice? Who are grounded in, anchored in knowledge and in practice, and in the word I'm looking for is like it is not okay, who is anchored in knowledge and also has success stories. That's what I'm looking for. So with all of that being said, I wanted to keep this short because I'm really just here to let you all know that I'm here. How do I hold my services? I do have a website. I do one-on-one sessions. I do learning circles. I teach classes in wellness centers, yoga studios. I hold retreats, and I'm asked to be a part of retreats. I love invitations to be a part of other people's grand ideas and a part of their practice. I have a consultation service, so I work with other practitioners who maybe need a little bit of support in identifying what is happening. Like, is this a spiritual attack? How do we go about the process of removing this entity from them or around them so that way they can start living their lives again, right? So these are some of the ways that I show up in my community and with other practitioners, and I love it. I love all of those things: being at retreats, being in classes, teaching, being in community, and sitting in one-on-ones. So my practice, again, alone is integrative. So we do movement, we can do talk, coaching, we can do some kind of energy or shamanic healing as well. So we definitely have a mind, body, spirit integrative practice here. But I also love working with teams. So I may let you know kind of what I'm picking up on. I may provide you with one of my services, and I may refer you out to one of my trusted collaborators that I have been working with for, a few years. And I also offer free consultations. So if you are interested in working with me and trying to figure out what's the best way to do that, since I do have so many options, I highly suggest hopping on a consultation with me so that way we can discuss it together. I can support you and guide you through the process of figuring out what is the right path. Beyond that, I want everybody to know that you are it. You know, you have the power to take back your life. You have the power to call back all the pieces of your soul. You have the power to heal. And it starts with wanting to. That's where it starts. You must want to. And as soon as you decide, I want to, I'm doing this, your will has been ignited and you are starting the journey back to yourself. And it would be an honor to support you on that. And if not, if it is not aligned with me, know that I am believing in you, that I'm rooting for you, that I'm cheering for you. And yeah, you got this. So thanks for tuning in with me. Thanks for listening about my mission. And I'm super excited to share with you over the next few months, several months, some tools, some understandings on where that bridge is. What is the connector between mental health, emotional health, and spirituality? So, loving you all.